20 Instant Pot Hacks every cook should know. By now, you have most definitely heard of the Instant Pot, also known as a multi-cooker or a pressure cooker, slow cooker combo. It's the hottest kitchen staple since sliced bread, or the bread slicer, rather, and is currently sweeping the blogosphere with recipes for making healthy food fast. Instant Pots make it easy to meal prep, revive leftovers better than the microwave, and jazz up chicken breast so well that it could compete with your favorite rotisserie brand. But with so many handy hacks, it can be difficult to navigate the ins and outs of the machine when you first give it a try. Instant Pots generally have both a low and high pressure setting you can choose from, but the exact amounts and temperatures vary depending on the model you own. High pressure is used most often when cooking things quickly, like your favorite 15-minute chili, but according to Zuccarello, low pressure produces slightly better results when cooking foods that need a gentler hand. Desserts almost always require the low setting to come out restaurant-worthy, and they make the perfect cheat meal. Since Instant Pots allow you to cook straight from the freezer and throw in all your ingredients at the same time, make things easy for yourself by planning out recipes and freezing them in round containers that fit seamlessly into your pot. It seems simple, but this hack will allow you to meal prep without the hassle of cooking everything at the same time. Once a month meals recommend simply preparing the ingredients, placing into round Tupperware containers up to 64 ounces, or the size of a gallon-sized Ziploc bag, and freezing until it's time for dinner. The inner workings of your Instant Pot may be new territory, but it's important to make sure all parts are in place and functioning before you press the start button. Think about it, you'd never drive a car that's missing a part, or has the check engine light illuminated on the dashboard. You should be as familiar with your pot as you are your car. Zuccarello tells us to make sure that the silicone gasket in the lid is in place before cooking. Soft and springy, not dry and cracked. If your pot is not coming to pressure, it may not be sealed correctly. The gasket should be removed and cleaned after every use for maximum freshness. There's a water line on the inside for a reason. Liquid is required for almost every Instant Pot recipe, and it's important to follow directions for your own safety, says Zuccarello. Every food is different and requires a specific amount of water. Foaming or expanding foods need less than most recipes. It may be easy to overlook the mark, but exact amounts are key if you want your food to live up to your in-laws' expectations. We won't lie. It's slightly annoying that you can't check the progress of food until it comes out of the pot. Recipes tend to err on the underdone side as opposed to overdone, says Zuccarello in Multi-Cooker Perfection. If your food comes out needing a little more lovin', finish the job by putting it back in the pot and turning it to the highest saute or browning mode. Add liquids as needed to keep food moist. While it's important to be exact with the liquids in your initial recipe, err on the wet side when you're putting the finishing touches on a meal. If you find that food is burning while you're sauteing, try adding a small amount of liquid to slow down the cooking. Although you can't fix food that has been burned during pressure or slow cooking, you can avoid the problem in the future by taking care to scrape up all the brown bits left in the pot after sauteing food and before closing the lid, Zuccarello tells us. With this in mind, now all you have to worry about is whether to use chicken stock or water. Your Instant Pot has two options when the cooking time has ended, a natural release of pressure or a quick release from the valve. If your timer goes off and you do nothing, the food will cool and the pressure will be released slowly in a natural release. If you choose the natural release option, food will continue to cook until all the heat escapes. Zuccarello tells us that this is the preferred method for meats, because it allows the meat to rest and retain the natural fats and juices that make it melt in your mouth good. If you quick release the pressure on a large cut of meat, it will seize up and be tough. So if you threw in a pork loin, let it be when the timer ends. After at least 15 minutes, quick release any remaining pressure. When you're browning, searing, or sauteing, that is. Multi-Cooker Perfection tells us that the heating element of an Instant Pot is not as effective as your stove burner, so when you're adding the finishing touches to a meal, the best practice is to crank the notch to the hottest setting available. There are many accessories that can accompany your pot, and they make it easy to get the most from everything you cook. A glass lid will allow you to keep an eye on foods when you're using the saute function. Stackable steamer baskets let you cook meat and veggies on top of each other, which is perfect for reheating last night's dinner. A ceramic inner pot lets you whip up cheesecakes and desserts with ease. You can find countless must-have accessories online at Amazon, stack baskets, pans, and racks to cook your entire dinner at once. Great news! Most of the Instant Pot's parts are dishwasher safe, which makes cleanup as fast and easy as the cooking itself. According to Living Well Spending Less, the lid needs to be washed by hand, but other than that, you can safely toss the inside accessories like the inner pot and steam rack into the washer. If you need a deeper clean, food builds up. After all, use vinegar or lemon and hot water to steam clean the inside. This will break down any gunk that's built up in the nooks and crannies.